Hello all, welcome to Domain Expert channel. Today we're going to learn an important topic is Docker and the installation in the EC2 instances. Let's start the session. First of all, what is meant by Docker? Docker is a software platform that allows you to build, test, and deploy applications very quickly. Docker packages software into standardized units called containers that have everything the software needs to run, including libraries, system tools, code, and runtime. Using Docker, you can quickly deploy and scale applications into any environment and know your code will run. Running Docker on AWS provides developers and admins a highly reliable, low-cost way to build, ship, and run distributed applications at any scale. Now let's try to understand how Docker works. Docker works by providing a standard way to run your code. Docker is an operating system for containers, similar to how a virtual machine virtualizes server hardware. Containers visualize the operating system of a server. Docker is installed on each server and provides simple command you can use to build, start, and stop containers. Now let us try to install the Docker in EC2 instances. For that, I'm going to navigate to the AWS console page. Okay, and I'm going to log into EC2. At this moment, I created one EC2 instances having the public IP address 184.72.77.220. The first step to install the Docker is log into sudo root yum install Docker. Okay, sounds good. Now the Docker is installed in my machine. The second step is we need to check whether the Docker is running in your machine or not. So for that one, I'm going to use the command called systemctl status Docker. By default, the Docker will be in disabled state. Okay. Now you need to enable and we need to run the Docker. For this, I'm going to use the same command systemctl start Docker. Now let me check the status of the Docker. There it is. Now the Docker is active and running. Now the next command is, now I want to list the images in my system. So for that one, let me check whether is there images in my machine or not. So for that one, Docker images, I'm going to enter. If you see here, I don't see any images in my machine, right? So for example, I want to install one image. I'm thinking to install the CentOS. So for that one, let me check using command called docker search CentOS. Yes, it's there. Now let me pull the CentOS. To download the CentOS. So this will download the CentOS in my operating system. Yes. Now I'm going to execute the same command called docker images. Right now the images CentOS is installed in my machine and image ID is being created. Is created. Right. Now using this image, I want to create the containers. So for that one, I'm going to use the command called docker ps. No container we created. So now I'm going to run that container. Docker run -t -f name domain expert and the name of this image ID. You see here by default I navigated to the container. So now if I want to come out from this container, you have to enter the control PQ. Right. So now let's check docker. Yes. If you see here, the container ID is generated and it's created 22 seconds ago. And the status was 20 up, and the name of the container is domain expert. Okay. Using this CentOS, I just created the container. Sounds good. Now, if I want to come inside of this container, I'm going to use command called docker attach the container ID. Let me grab this container ID. I'll copy over here. Attach the container ID. Now inside of this container. Now I can see all the configurations files. If I want to log out from the container, and I have to enter control P+Q. Right. Now let's try to install one more image called HTTPD. So for that one, I'm going to use the same command docker. Let me check first. Only one container, docker images. I have only one CentOS. Let me pull the image, HTTPD image. Docker pull HTTPD. Okay. So now docker images. Now I have installed the image HTTPD in my machine. Now using this image, I want to create the container. So for that one, I'm going to use docker run dit name my web server. Okay, and port number -p 8080, port number 80, and the image ID HTTPD docker run dit name. Yes. Now let me check docker ps. Yes, 2 containers are generated, and it was up. It was created 5 seconds ago, and the status is up, and it listening on port number 80. Okay, then the name of the my container is my web server. Super, right? Now let me test the connectivity. So let me grab the public IP address of the instance. Let me copy port number 8080. This works, right? So that's it, guys, regarding the Docker. Thank you so much.